Ash and Gloria stand on opposite sides of the pitch. It's strange. They've battled side by side as teammates and trained in practice matches, but this will be their first real battle as opponents. And their last as well. Gloria tells Ash that he's been a great competitor thus far, but this is where his Galar League journey ends. She says that her entire journey has led to this moment, and that after she defeats him, she'll battle Leon, defeat him, and become the newest champion of Galar. And she'll finally get that autograph she's been wanting for so long. Ash tells Gloria that her confidence is admirable, but he's going to be the one winning this battle. He's battled in so many leagues, was able to win 2 in this universe, and is a champion of 1 region. That said, he got that position in the first league conference of a newly established league. Now he has the opportunity to become a regional champion by defeating a standing champion. There's no way he's going to let that opportunity pass him by. He's winning this battle for sure. Hop, Marnie, Avery, Clara, Mustard, Honey, and Urshifu are eager to see this battle and join each other in the stands. Surprisingly, even Bee joins the group, curious to see what will be the outcome of this battle. Hop and Clara are rooting for Ash, while Avery and Marnie are on Gloria's side. Bee simply finds it amusing how Clara and Avery have gone from rivaling Ash and Gloria to now supporting them in the most important battles. Honey notes how the audience also seems evenly split in the support of Ash and Gloria. It'll be interesting to see how each side will approach this match. Mustard is certain that it'll be an impressive battle, considering how Ash and Gloria are not just close friends, but regular battle partners. Urshifu, meanwhile, wants both of her friends to do well, and decides to cheer for both sides. Leon looks over the battle from the announcer's booth. He makes sure to deeply analyze both trainers, looking forward to see which will be his opponent in the championship match. The Rotom announcer flies onto the battlefield. It's finally time for the battle to commence. The stage is set, and both trainers release their first Pokemon. The big question on everyone's minds? Which Pokemon will Ash and Gloria choose to open the final battle of the Galar League Conference? The question is soon answered, as Ash sends out Sirfetch'd and Gloria goes with Alcremie. While the audience cheers in excitement at the start of the battle, the Pokemon gasp as soon as they lay eyes on their opponent. Uncharacteristically, Sirfetch'd grimaces. He seems uneasy about the matchup. Alcremie looks no different. The Pokemon look at each other silently, and the trainers understand why. These two have always been close, ever since their captures. They've always supported and comforted each other, and are nervous about having to be opponents like this. Gloria can sense the tension and calls out to her Pokemon. Alcremie, I know Sirfetch'd is your friend, but don't let that deter you. I promise, there won't be any hard feelings after this battle. Same for you, Sirfetch'd. We're all in this to win, Ash adds. Alcremie and Sirfetch'd become encouraged by their trainer's words, so they take their battle stances and ready themselves for their trainer's commands. Ash doesn't let the type disadvantage get to him and immediately calls for a Fury Cutter. The consecutive attack strikes Alcremie hard, but Gloria has a plan. She orders a Misty Terrain. Alcremie executes the move, shrouding the battlefield in a pink mist. Ash is confused by this, but doesn't let his guard down, and he orders Leaf Blade. As Sirfetch'd runs in close, Gloria grins, telling Alcremie to brace herself. Right as Sirfetch'd lifts his sword, Gloria commands Attract. Ash yells for Sirfetch'd to dodge, but he's too late. The attack takes effect, and Sirfetch'd becomes infatuated. Gloria then orders a point-blank Dazzling Gleam, blasting Sirfetch'd away. Ash tries to command Sirfetch'd to attack, but to no avail. Gloria calls for another Dazzling Gleam, which further damages Sirfetch'd. Things are looking rough, and Ash knows he can't afford to lose a Pokemon so soon, so he calls Sirfetch'd back to his Pokeball. In his stead, he sends out Inteleon. A smart move, Marnie thinks, since Inteleon won't be affected by Attract. But it seems that Gloria isn't about to fall for this trap, and decides to call Alcremie back, knowing that she has a great chance of beating Sirfetch'd and will likely struggle against the speedy Inteleon anyway. She then sends Thievul out next. Hop is eager to see the battle between the two speedsters of each team. Gloria tells Thievul to hide within the misty terrain to prepare a lash-out attack. Thievul sneakily hides himself within the thick pink mist, but it's to no avail. Inteleon's impressive eyesight allows her to keep track of the fox. Snipe Shot is called, and Thievul just barely dodges. Gloria breathes a sigh of relief. She knows that Thievul's speed is perfect to counter Ash's Inteleon, but they still need to be careful. She orders a foul play attack, and Ash has Inteleon block with Protect. Thievul switches to Lash Out and continuously wears down the Protect. Inteleon tries to keep the barrier up, but eventually the stronger attack finally breaks through and strikes Inteleon. Ash doesn't let this distract him and tells Inteleon to use Acrobatics. Meanwhile, Gloria orders Thievul to use Foul Play. The Pokemon charge forward and collide, but Thievul is the one who pushes through as he uses Inteleon's own physical strength against her. So far, the match seems to be in Gloria's favor, Mustard thinks. But at this point, the misty terrain fades, giving the audience a clear view of the battlefield once more. Gloria decides to keep up the momentum and has Thievul use Snarl. Inteleon counters with Icicle Spear. The attacks collide, causing an explosion. Ash orders for Inteleon to use Snipe Shot quickly before Thievul can recover from the blast. This powerful attack strikes Thievul for a major hit. Gloria does not want Inteleon to take too much control, so she commands Foul Play again. Thievul dashes in for the powerful attack, but Inteleon simply blocks with Protect. Thievul is propelled back slightly, so Ash orders a quick Acrobatics. Inteleon speedily rushes up to Thievul, but Gloria has him use his tail as a springboard to avoid the attack. Avery is impressed to see Gloria continuing to make use of this battle strategy. Ash doesn't see this as an issue and simply has Inteleon go for Snipe Shot. But while in the air, Thievul uses Snarl to disorient Inteleon, weakening her. She tries to recover and use her attack, but Gloria calls for a massive Hyper Beam. Inteleon's Snipe Shot is weaker due to the Snarl, so Hyper Beam blasts through for a major hit on Inteleon. Ash calls out to Inteleon, who struggles to her feet. She manages to get up and uses this opening, while Thievul has to recharge to dash forward to land a powerful Acrobatics. Thievul just hangs on and goes in for Lash Out once he's recharged, but at the last second, Ash has Inteleon use her ability to camouflage herself and turn invisible to the normal eye. This throws Thievul off, causing him to halt to a stop. Gloria tells Thievul to remain alert and listen for Inteleon. He tries to listen out for her movements, but Inteleon reappears right behind Thievul with a follow-up, close-range Icicle Spear. This is finally enough to finish off Thievul, giving Ash the first win of the match. Clar and Hop cheer for Ash, as do his fans in the crowd. Avery becomes annoyed by this result, but Marnie reminds him that this is still just the beginning. Gloria can still win if she remains focused. Gloria stays calm and doesn't let this get her nervous. She always knew Ash would be her ultimate opponent. She recalls her first capture, thanking him for such a great job, and sends in Arctozolt. Ash isn't bothered by the type matchup, since he knows Inteleon has the speed advantage still. He calls for Snipe Shot, and the attack lands an immediate hard hit. That said, Arctozolt has always been Gloria's defensive tank, and while she certainly feels the hit, she remains steady. She then rushes in with Bolt Beak. Inteleon is more than capable of dodging, however, and she evades the attack to hit Acrobatics from behind, knocking Arctozolt onto her side. Ash thinks he's already got the upper hand, but to his shock, Gloria actually doesn't miss a beat and orders Freeze Dry. Inteleon tries to dodge, but Arctozolt freezes the entire area of the battlefield directly around Inteleon, causing her to halt in her tracks as the attack hits. She becomes encased in ice, but Ash doesn't see this as a big deal since Inteleon resists the hit. Or so he thought. In actuality, Inteleon becomes frozen in her tracks, unable to move as her body slowly begins to freeze, confusing Ash. Gloria smirks, as she's actually proud that she managed to keep this a secret from Ash the whole time. She explains that though Freeze Dry is an ice type attack, it actually deals super effective damage to water types. Clara and Avery are in shock that Ash wouldn't know this, considering how Freeze Dry has always been one of Arctozolt's signature attacks, and Ash has trained against her all this time. Ash only now realizes how little his water types in particular actually trained with Arctozolt, and he certainly wishes he would have done so more, as the Freeze Dry attack takes a huge toll on Inteleon. Ash tries to get her to break free, but she can barely move, so the attack fully surrounds her, and the ice shatters in a cold explosion. Inteleon stumbles, struggling to collect her bearings. Ash calls for Snipe Shot, but the freezing attack has left Inteleon shivering and she can barely see straight, let alone aim an attack. This allowed Arctozolt to lunge in and hit a powerful Bolt Beak. Inteleon is nailed by the attack and hurled onto the ground. When the Rotom drone flies over to assess her, she's deemed unable to battle. Gloria's fans erupt into loud applause. Marnie compliments Gloria for the great strategy, and Avery is thrilled over her getting a win. Hop reminds them of what Marnie said before though. They're still early in this battle. He thinks Ash can still get the win, and Clara agrees as she starts cheering for him. Ash thanks Inteleon for doing so well earlier in the battle and recalls her. He then pulls out the level ball once more and brings Sirfetch'd back in. Ash explains the current situation to Sirfetch'd, and the valiant knight is ready to avenge his fallen comrade. He begins by charging in with a powerful Brutal Swing, but Gloria is ready for this. She has Arctozolt freeze her own body with Freeze Dry to create her special Ice Shield power-up. The audience cheers in amazement, still impressed by this unique ability from Gloria's fossil. Arctozolt begins using the move as Sirfetch'd charges forward. The blue ice on her body begins glowing brightly as it hardens, giving Arctozolt a major defense boost. Brutal Swing finally connects, but is little more than a scratch attack with Arctozolt's massive defenses. Gloria is feeling more confident now and commands Pluck, and the super effective attack deals a big hit to Sirfetch'd. But Ash grins as he had a plan for this and tells Sirfetch'd to use Fury Cutter. The small duck begins slashing wildly at Arctozolt's body. At first it doesn't seem to be doing much, but as the attack grows stronger, it actually manages to slice off pieces of the ice shield. This has Gloria worried, so she orders Bolt Beak, but Sirfetch'd blocks the attack just in time with his shield. A close-range Leaf Blade then lands a critical hit onto Arctozolt, breaking off even more of her ice body. From here, Gloria recalls Arctozolt, not willing to risk things, and sends Alcremie back in. The friends lock eyes once again, but this time they share a determined look. They're now eager to battle each other after their interrupted match, and each wants to get their trainer the win. Ash and Gloria nod as Ash makes the first move. He has Sirfetch'd go in with Brutal Swing. Gloria commands Misty Terrain for Alcremie to hide herself. Ash knows that Alcremie isn't the fastest, so he tells Sirfetch'd to stay on course. The duck does so, and once he reaches the other side of the battlefield, he slashes his leak where Alcremie stood. But she isn't there. Ash and his Pokemon are shocked as Gloria calls for Attract. Ash tells Sirfetch'd to dodge, but he doesn't even know where the attack is coming from. It turns out that Alcremie had managed to sneak behind Sirfetch'd, and she lands the attack, infatuating Sirfetch'd once again. Hop, Marnie, Clara, and Avery are curious if Ash will switch his Pokemon out once more, or just stick with Sirfetch'd. After all, even if he does switch, most of his other incoming Pokemon will also be affected by Attract. Ash makes his choice to leave Sirfetch'd in, and calls for Leaf Blade. Sirfetch'd hesitates, but surprises everyone as he manages to power through the infatuation to land the hard hit. Alcremie is caught off guard as she's struck with the attack, but hits back with an equally strong Dazzling Gleam. This blasts Sirfetch'd into the stadium wall. Ash tells Sirfetch'd to strike with Fury Cutter. Sirfetch'd struggles to get started due to the Attract. And even when he does manage to launch an attack, Misty Terrain clouds his vision, and he fails to locate Alcremie. Gloria takes this time to have Alcremie harness the power of anime logic to use Decorate on herself, powering up her own attacks. Ash knows that he needs to land a big hit, so he tells Sirfetch'd to use his most powerful attack, Meteor Assault. Meanwhile, Gloria tells Alcremie to finish off Sirfetch'd with the strongest dazzling gleam she can. Sirfetch'd uses all of his willpower to fight through Infatuation, charge up his attack, and dash forward. Gloria tells Alcremie to wait until Sirfetch'd is in point-blank range before firing her move. Alcremie stays put and begins charging her own attack. Sirfetch'd soon closes in, and Alcremie launches the massively powerful move. But Sirfetch'd shockingly pushes through with Meteor Assault. The two collide, creating a massive colorful explosion. The blast causes the stadium to shake, stunning the crowd. Ash and Gloria fans alike scan their eyes through the smoke to see who made it through. The smoke causes the misty terrain to pewter out as well, and once the battlefield is clear, it's shown that Sirfetch'd and Alcremie have both fainted. At this, everyone in the crowd cheers, and Urshifu joins in. Meanwhile, Hop, Bede, Marnie, Avery, and Clara are stunned at this outcome. Mustard notes that it's still a tie, with 2 Pokemon down on each side. Honey points out that Ash and Gloria are at equal strength, and this is becoming an impressive match, so she's curious to see which Pokemon the trainers will bring in next. After each challenger recalls their Pokemon, Ash asks Pikachu if he's ready, and the mouse nods, hopping off of Ash's shoulder to the battlefield. Gloria thinks over her options, and ultimately decides to go with Appletun. Pikachu will have a speed advantage, yes, but Appletun greatly resists his most powerful attacks, so she still feels that she has the upper hand. Ash gets right into things and orders Quick Attack, but Appletun counters with Grassy Glide. The two collide and knock each other back, with Pikachu static paralyzing Appletun right off the bat. Gloria is annoyed by this, as it'll make it harder for Appletun to use attacks. Still, without hesitating, she calls for Energy Ball. Appletun launches the attacks, but Pikachu intercepts with Thunderbolt. He then immediately dashes in with Iron Tail. His attack strikes, but Appletun tanks the attack with her bulk, then heals with Recover, much to Avery's mild annoyance from the audience. Ash tells Pikachu to use Electro Web, but Appletun blasts the attack to shreds with Dragon Pulse. Gloria tells Appletun to repeat the attack, but paralysis racks her body, halting her from using the move. This lets Pikachu rush in with Quick Attack to deal a hard hit. Appletun manages to hold her ground and resist with an Energy Ball though, blasting Pikachu away. So far, this matchup has seemed pretty even, Hop says. Marnie agrees that either side could win this one. Gloria has Appletun use Recover, but Ash interrupts this by ordering Pikachu to use Electro Web to trap Appletun. As she is continuously zapped, she struggles to use her move to regain her strength. An additional Thunderbolt deals an even harder hit, throwing Gloria and Appletun off. Appletun tries to focus and uses Dragon Pulse. Pikachu fights back with Thunderbolt, and the attacks seem evenly matched. Gloria decides to switch tactics and calls for Grassy Glide, while Ash tells Pikachu to use Iron Tail. The two Pokemon charge in and collide. Both sides fight to overpower the other, but Static once again interrupts Appletun's attack. This allows Pikachu to push forward and strike Appletun in the head with a hard Iron Tail. Gloria calls out to her in concern, but unfortunately, she falls in defeat. Ash's supporters celebrate this additional win, since it means Ash has the upper hand once again. This has Gloria feeling a bit concerned. She knows that she can't afford to lose the next matchup. Pikachu is Ash's strongest, so she'll need to go all out with one of her most reliable players. Taking out a Pokeball, she tells the Pokemon that she's counting on her. She then sends Cinderace to the battlefield. The two partner Pokemon glare at each other, with Ash asking Pikachu if he wants to continue. Pikachu nods, so Ash doesn't skip a beat and commands Quick Attack. Cinderace meets him with a powerful Mega Kick. They collide evenly at first, but Cinderace uses her other foot to deal another strong kick. This knocks Pikachu back, flinging him into the wall. Pikachu shakes himself off and rushes back into the battle, firing off a Thunderbolt. But Cinderace intercepts it with Pyro Ball. This collision causes a massive explosion, shrouding the arena in smoke. Pikachu becomes nervous with his vision blocked, but he actually sees the bright light of a Pyro Ball heading toward him. As such, he creates an Electro Web to catch it, blocking him from the damage. Ash is pleased by this, but it turns out that it was all a distraction, as it gave Cinderace time to rush behind Pikachu to strike a massive high jump kick. Pikachu is extremely injured, but he fights through the pain and gets back up. He uses Quick Attack again, and this time Cinderace hits back with a hard Blaze Kick. Pikachu is hurt, but he grabs onto Cinderace's foot and hits a massive Thunderbolt. Now Cinderace is badly hurt, but she knows she can't go down yet. She jumps up and somersaults in the air before slamming Pikachu into the ground with another Mega Kick to defeat him. Gloria's side cheers, with Marnie and Avery complimenting Cinderace on her skills. The match is tied again, with 3 knockouts on each side. Ash collects Pikachu and thanks him for his hard work. Gloria congratulates Cinderace, and she gives her trainer a proud nod. But her face then morphs into a pained expression, causing Gloria worry. She doesn't want to risk things, and takes out Cinderace's Pokeball to recall her. But the rabbit avoids it, not wanting to be taken out of the battle. She knows that this is Gloria's most important battle ever, and she wants to keep going. Gloria trusts her partner and decides to let her continue. After thinking it over, Ash sends out Dracovish as his next pick. Immediately, the fish monstrosity's stomach spikes begin glowing, granting him a power boost, and he growls ferociously at Cinderace. She is unfazed and rushes in to attack. Gloria calls for Pyro Ball. Dracovish tries to dodge the attack, but Cinderace isn't having it. She launches attack after attack until one of the flaming soccer balls strikes Dracovish for a clean hit. Though it doesn't do too much damage, this absolutely infuriates the beast, and it roars in a rage, his stomach spikes glowing even brighter than ever before. Suddenly, he fires a blast of water at Cinderace, who only just manages to intercept it with Pyro Ball. Steam surrounds the Pokemon as they glare at each other. Everyone is surprised by this, and in the audience, Hop wonders what that move was. Mustard says that it looked like brine, with Marnie wondering how Dracovish could have learned a move on the spot like that. Honey believes that it's most likely from the fossil's intense desire to win. Avery meanwhile warns Gloria to be careful, since brine is an attack that does more damage on a weakened Pokemon. Dracovish uses Ice Fang next, but Cinderace responds with a Mega Kick to Dracovish's head. The two fight to push the other back, but Cinderace flinches in pain, allowing Dracovish to land a direct hit. Clara comments that Pikachu severely injured Cinderace's leg in the last battle, and the damage is probably catching up to her, since all of her attacks involve kicking. Gloria can see this, and calls for Cinderace to try to finish up quickly with a hard, high jump kick. Cinderace rushes in to use the attack, and while her opponent tries to dodge, she's just too fast. A powerful kick knocks Dracovish back, and while he's down, Gloria rushes to finish things. She calls for a second high jump kick, and Cinderace gets ready for the attack. But right at the last second, Dracovish rolls away out of the path of the attack, causing Cinderace major recoil damage on her already injured leg. With this opening, Ash calls for brine. Dracovish uses the attack, with the powerful blast of water smashing into Cinderace and sending her into the stadium wall. Gloria calls out to her, but it's no use. Cinderace falls, unable to battle. Dracovish roars in glee over his victory, and Ash fans cheer for him. Gloria is upset over another loss, but pleased over how well Cinderace did in the battle. She thanks her for working so hard and recalls her, but she's shocked when Ash does the same thing. He says Dracovish could definitely use a rest after that tough battle against Cinderace. Gloria nods, but is inwardly a bit surprised at how her battle-worn Cinderace was able to do so much damage to a Pokemon that hadn't battled as much. From this, she becomes even more determined that she can win this. She sends out Rapidash at the same moment Ash brings in Coalossal. Ash has Coalossal start with Heat Wave. Rapidash tries to dodge, but it's no use, as the massive attack reaches across the entire battlefield. The magical horse shakes herself off before firing off numerous Psycho Cut attacks. Coalossal is hit, but his defenses are so strong that he's barely phased. Rock Slide is launched, and Rapidash tries to destroy the rocks with Psycho Cut, but fails. She's crushed by numerous large boulders, putting Ash in control right off the bat. Coalossal goes in for Heat Crash, but Rapidash manages to avoid the hit and use Play Rough as a counter. Once again, Coalossal is largely unharmed and hits a close Heat Wave, torching Rapidash and burning her. Ash then has Coalossal charge up a Meteor Beam. Knowing that it'll take some time for the move to be charged, Gloria sees this as her perfect chance and commands Rapidash to use Horn Drill. Marnie points out that if this attack lands, Coalossal is out, and Ash will only have 2 Pokemon left. On the other hand, Hop says that if Coalossal hits first, it'll do huge damage to Rapidash and increase his strength for future long-ranged attacks. Rapidash charges forward at an incredible speed. The audience is on the edge of their seats, eager to see which attack will land. Rapidash nears closer to Coalossal, but the burn racking her body causes her pain with each gallop. That said, she's determined to execute her attack. Coalossal finishes charging his attack and is ready to go, but Ash stalks everyone as he tells Coalossal to aim his powerful attack at the ground. He does so, and the force of the blast propels him into the air. Rapidash isn't hit directly, but as she's gotten so close, the force of the blast sends her hurtling backward. This is when Ash commands another Heat Crash. Using the momentum from the Meteor Beam, Coalossal dives down to land the massive fiery attack, dealing a huge amount of damage to Rapidash. The audience is surprised and impressed by Ash's constant unpredictability, and his fans roar with enthusiasm. Gloria calls out to Rapidash in horror. She's shocked and relieved when Rapidash gets up on shaky legs. The horse growls weakly at Coalossal. She doesn't have too much strength left. Now Gloria is getting nervous. This type matchup isn't in her favor at all, but her other option of Arctozolt would be even worse. At this point, Gloria figures she has no choice. She can't afford to lose another Pokemon now. She thus makes the choice to Dynamax Rapidash. As Rapidash is enveloped in Dynamax energy, Ash can tell that Gloria is losing confidence and is desperate to deal big damage. He knows he needs to finish her final Pokemon quickly before she can turn things around. He orders Rock Slide, and Coalossal hurls numerous rocks at the now massive pony. Rapidash is hit, but in her Dynamax state, she's able to withstand the attack much better. Gloria then commands Max Mindstorm. The move is fired with excessive power, and Ash knows Coalossal is too slow to dodge, so he tells the bulky rock monster to tank the attack and begin charging another Meteor Beam. Coalossal braces for impact and stands his ground as the intense max move hits. To the utter surprise of the audience, he stands his ground impressively well, with all limbs dug into the ground. He's pushed back, but anchors himself well to withstand the attack. As the psychic terrain surrounds the battlefield, Coalossal gets up to his feet. He's in a lot of pain, but still able to stand. Gloria is aware of Coalossal's defensive strength, but is still impressed to see him handle that max move so well. Rapidash is hurt by her burn, and Gloria knows she's running out of time. She orders a second Max Mindstorm, and Ash commands Coalossal to unleash Meteor Beam. The moves launch at an impressive power, both working to overtake the other. Meteor Beam's strength is made more powerful by Coalossal's earlier use of the move, but the psychic terrain is likewise increasing the power of the Max Mindstorm. Everyone in the crowd is impressed, with Mustard particularly in awe that Coalossal can counter a max move in this state. That said, in this instance, the power of Dynamax is just too great, and the Max Mindstorm manages to overpower the Meteor Beam and strike Coalossal for a massive hit, blasting him backward into the walls of the stadium. Ash looks back to see Coalossal fall forward on his face. The Rotom announcer deems the rock creature unable to battle, and Gloria cheers in glee over getting another win. Her fans in the audience are likewise thrilled, and cheer happily for her to keep pushing forward. Ash recalls Coalossal and thanks him for his hard work. He knows that he can finish off Rapidash now. He sends out Corviknight, who roars loudly as he enters the battlefield. The bird's fans cheer at his entrance, and Corviknight locks his eyes on his Dynamaxed opponent. Hearing the cheers of the audience, he uses the opportunity to show off, doing numerous aerial tricks and twirls as he flies around Rapidash. Rapidash slashes at him with her horn, but Corviknight is able to perfectly dodge and continue circling around her, loving the opportunity to put on a show. Even though Gloria is used to this behavior from Corviknight by now, she has no time to waste at this point in the battle, so she orders one final attack from Rapidash. This time, she surprises everyone by using Max Strike. Rapidash fires off a beam of energy directly at Corviknight. As the bird was distracted by his aerial show, he fails to dodge the move in time as it hits him. Of course, he resists the move due to his typing, but it still deals a decent hit due to its Dynamax power. Ash tells Corviknight to slash through the attack with Steel Wing, and Corviknight does so. He uses all of his might to fly straight through the Max Strike and hit Rapidash with a hard Steel Wing right on her neck. A massive explosion rings out as Rapidash returns to her normal size, then immediately topples over in defeat. Things are not good. Gloria only has one Pokemon left, but now is not the time to panic. She thinks she can make it through this. She sends out Arctozolt. Thankfully, the fossil has had some time to rest since the earlier battle, but she's going to need to be careful here. Corviknight is one of Ash's toughest fighters, but he's still weak to electric type attacks. Gloria feels she can do this. Ash commands Iron Head, and Corviknight dashes forward with the attack. Avery panics, knowing this will be a hard hit. But Gloria tells Arctozolt to use Freeze Dry to create her Ice Shield, as much of it had been sliced away by Sirfetch'd earlier in battle. The frozen bird mutant successfully freezes her ice block body, powering up her defenses. So when the Iron Head hits, Arctozolt is pushed back hard, but she digs her feet into the ground and is able to not only withstand the hit, but also remain standing. This gives her the perfect chance to use an up-close Bolt Beak. Ash tells Corviknight to dodge, but Arctozolt hits faster, dealing a major hit to him. Ash is thrown off, but tells Corviknight to use Sky Attack. Corviknight begins charging his attack, so Gloria has Arctozolt use Freeze Dry on the ground. Everyone can tell that Gloria is gearing up for her typical strategy, likely to have Arctozolt dodge by skating on the ice. Ash doesn't want to give her the chance to do that, so he orders Corviknight to get moving. The bird dashes forward while Arctozolt is still using the attack on the ground, so Arctozolt redirects the attack to hit Corviknight. He flies straight through the freeze dry, so Arctozolt slides away to dodge. Ash tells Corviknight to pursue Arctozolt, but he oddly struggles to change the angle of his attack. This allows Arctozolt to strike another freeze dry, this one freezing one of Corviknight's wings. Ash is confused at how off-balance Corviknight seems. From the audience, Bede already has an explanation. That Max Strike Gloria had Rapidash use was strategic. It's a move that reduces a Pokemon's speed. Using it against Corviknight before Rapidash went down was meant to give Arctozolt an upper hand. Ash can see that Gloria is trying to ruin Corviknight's speed advantage, and tells Corviknight to break the ice off his wing by using another Steel Wing attack. Corviknight flies up into the air and quickly dives down to land his attack. But Gloria has Arctozolt skate around on the ice to throw Corviknight off. His lowered speed and frozen wing also make it hard for him to take proper aim at Arctozolt. As such, Arctozolt uses Freeze Dry directly at Corviknight to disrupt his flight. This causes Corviknight to drift around and crash into the ground. Gloria doesn't want to waste her chance and calls for Bolt Beak. The electric fossil skates on the frozen ground, gaining a ton of momentum as she dashes forward. Ash quickly commands Iron Head, and Corviknight just barely has enough time to get to his feet to use the move. The Pokemon clash, each trying to push the other back. But Corviknight is at a disadvantage on unsteady footing. Arctozolt manages to trip Corviknight with one of her flippers, and as the Iron Bird falters, Arctozolt lands the finishing blow. A powerful Bolt Beak electrifies Corviknight and takes him out of the battle. Gloria fans are brought to cheers as the realization clicks in. Another win. That means she and Ash only have one Pokemon left. Ash recalls Corviknight after thanking him for battling so well, then sends out his final Pokemon, Dracovish. Dracovish roars viciously as he enters the match once more, his stomach spikes gaining their dark red aura. Arctozolt's body sparks, and she yells right back, as her icy body glistens a bright blue. The fossils stare each other down, as do Ash and Gloria. It all comes down to this. Marnie comments that Gloria has a huge advantage thanks to Arctozolt's freeze-dry attack and shield-like defense, but Hop argues that Dracovish has a power advantage with his sword-sharp teeth as his greatest weapons. Gloria decides to go all out, ordering freeze-dry right away, but Ash tells Dracovish to charge into the attack with Dragon Rush. Dracovish pushes through easily, so Arctozolt slides away on the ice to evade. Dracovish is thrown off, which causes him to stumble and slip down on the ice. Gloria takes this chance to order Pluck. Arctozolt rushes forward on the ice, but Ash has Dracovish use Brine, aimed at Arctozolt's legs, to cause her to slip as well. Bede comments how both of the fossils have unique body types, which can make battling difficult. So it's a struggle to determine who could come out on top. Arctozolt and Dracovish get back to their feet, still growling at each other. Gloria orders Bolt Beak, while Ash has Dracovish retaliate with Vicious Rend. The two collide, each working to push the other back. Ash and Gloria keep up with the commands. Pluck clashes with Ice Fang, and Freeze Dry meets Brine. The attacks are unending. All of the viewers have their eyes glued to the Pokemon, desperate to see who will take the upper hand. At one point, Dracovish slips on the ice while trying to pursue Arctozolt, so Gloria decides to go in strong with Giga Impact. Arctozolt rushes forward, using the ice on the ground to build momentum, as Dracovish counters with Dragon Rush. The red spikes on his stomach glow an even brighter red as he dashes toward his fossil counterpart. The Pokemon meet in the center of the battlefield with extreme force, each using their full strength to push the other back. Dracovish has the stronger attack force, but Arctozolt has the bulkier defense, so they're even in this aspect. The two are at a stalemate, and Gloria is feeling the intensity of the situation. She cannot lose this. This is the last battle standing in between her battle with Leon. With passion burning in her soul, she commands Arctozolt to use an up-close freeze dry. Ash remembers how dangerous this move is for Dracovish, so he orders him to get back. Unfortunately for him, Arctozolt was able to execute the move faster than Dracovish could react to the situation, so he takes a massively powerful hit. Dracovish is blown back and crashes into the icy hard ground. The Rotom drone flies over to check on Dracovish, and though he's in pain, he slowly makes his way back to his feet, roaring loudly. But the fish mutant takes a step and nearly falls over. Ash is nervous now. One more hit like that, and Dracovish is done. He's come too far to not go all out. So Ash decides that it's time to use Dracovish's full power. Ready to turn things around, Ash Dynamaxes his final Pokemon. Invigorated by the power-up, Dracovish is ready to continue. Gloria, on the other hand, is now nervous. After just using Giga Impact, and even managing a freeze dry on top of it, Arctozolt now needs to recharge, and this is the worst time for it. The only thing giving her a bit of an edge is that she still has her special Icy Shield armor. But is it enough to handle the sword-like strength of Dracovish in his Dynamax state? Ash knows that he needs to completely shift this match in his favor, and that's going to have to start with him getting rid of this ice on the battlefield floor. Shockingly, his method of doing this is by ordering a max hailstorm. All of his friends in the audience are confused on why this is the move he chose to use first. Still, Dracovish executes the attack, and the avalanche of ice rains down on the battlefield. As the giant chunks of ice slam onto the ground, the force is strong enough to shatter the ice created by Arctozolt. Not only that, but as she's powerless to dodge, She winds up getting hit hard by the massively powerful attack, and this shatters off pieces of her ice armor once more. Marnie, however, points out that the move also creates a hailstorm, which will actually benefit Gloria in this case over Ash, as Dracovish is pelted with hail, while Arctozolt remains unaffected. Beat is confused on why Ash would do this, but Hop assures everyone not to underestimate him, and he's sure that he has a plan. Arctozolt becomes recharged and is ready to attack again soon after, and Gloria decides she can just freeze the ground again, no problem, so she calls for freeze dry. But Ash anticipates this and orders Max Wormwind. Arctozolt uses her attack, but the massive force of the draconic winds pushes back so hard that any ice on the ground is ripped away immediately, foiling Gloria's plans. Gloria is starting to feel backed into a corner, but isn't ready to give up. Arctozolt's movement is limited, so she orders for her to use Bolt Beak on the ground. Arctozolt does so, and is able to electrify the entire battlefield, causing Dracovish pain. This, in addition to the hail, continues to wear him down. From here, Gloria thinks she's found a good counter, but Ash still has one trick up his sleeve and has Dracovish use Max Geyser. A massive deluge of water is fired at Arctozolt, and she can do nothing to dodge. She's blasted into the air with such extreme force that it completely shatters the remainder of her ice shield. Rain falls down onto the battlefield as Dracovish returns to a normal size, and suddenly, his stomach spikes stop glowing. Ash is confused, as is everyone else. Mustard wonders if Dracovish expelled all of his ancient energy in Dynamax form. There isn't a clear answer, as Dracovish and Arctozolt's unique power-ups have always been a mystery this entire time. Regardless, it seems both trainers are now back on their normal playing field, something which actually excites them. It all comes down to this. Gloria orders Pluck, and Ash has Dracovish fight back with Fishious Rend. The Pokemon hack away at each other, though Dracovish has the clear edge. Arctozolt tries Bolt Beak, but Dracovish pushes through and hits with Ice Fang. Gloria is confused, but Avery remembers that Max Wormwind lowers a Pokemon's attack strength, meaning Arctozolt's attacks aren't doing as much damage. Ash used Dracovish's Dynamix in the perfect strategic manner. Gloria can't help but express how impressed she is by Ash, and decides that this final move will have to decide the match. She commands Freeze Dry, and the powerful move is launched. Ash has Dracovish counter with Brine. The moves seem even at first, and both Pokemon are working their hardest to push through. But thanks to the rain, Brine is much more powerful, and with a roar, Dracovish uses the move at full power. Arctozolt fights back with all her might, and the audience is on the edge of their seats, many standing up and leaning over the edge, eager to see who will push through. The force of the moves causes an explosion on the battlefield. Dracovish lands in the center of the field and stumbles over, just barely able to stay upright. Meanwhile, the rain-boosted Brine launched Arctozolt right in front of Gloria, unconscious and unable to battle. The audience is silent for a moment before transitioning into a symphony of cheers. It's over. Ash has defeated Gloria and won in the Galar League finals. Ash is stunned for a moment before he runs over to Dracovish and hugs him, grateful for his work in the amazing battle. He praises the fossil for being able to pull through, and Dracovish wails in happiness. Gloria, on the other hand, is in shock. She doesn't even register that the battle is over for a few seconds. Eventually, she manages to walk over to Arctozolt, the bird beast looking at her in disappointment. She knew how important this was to Gloria. But Gloria thanks her for everything, and says that she battled well and deserves a good rest. After recalling her to her Pokeball, Gloria sees Ash approach her. It's clear that, despite his victory, he has a sense of sadness, as he knows how much Gloria hates to lose, and how her dream was to battle Leon. He thanks her for the great battle, and tells her that she did well. In fact, this is one of the best battles he's ever had. Gloria is silent for a second before looking around at the crowd. She's surprised when she not only hears Ash's fans cheering for him, but also her own fans cheering for her in spite of the result. Gloria almost can't believe it when she smiles, She actually feels happy. She shakes Ash's hand, thanking him for the amazing match as well. And she's happy that if she had to lose here, that it wound up being to her close friend. She wishes him luck in his upcoming battle against Leon. A small ceremony takes place, as Ash is awarded a trophy for becoming the glorious Galar League victor, and Gloria receives a medal for being the runner-up. Rose congratulates them both for their performance in the entire gym challenge, including this league conference. He then tells Ash that he can't wait for the championship battle that he'll have against Leon. It'll surely be a match for Galar's history books. Ash thanks Rose and promises to give a great battle, not only for Galar, but the entire Pokémon world. Ash and Gloria meet back up with their friends in the waiting room. They are both surprised to see Leon standing and waiting with everyone else. He approaches the two and expresses how proud he is of them both. They thank him, and Ash tells him how excited he is to battle him. Gloria admits that she's disappointed that she won't be the one to battle, but looks forward to seeing Leon's match against Ash. Leon then tells Gloria to cheer up, as he has something for her. She's confused, but then surprised, as Leon gives her an autographed copy of his hat and uniform. The others are stunned, and Leon explains that he prepared a special reward for the runner-up of the league conference. He knows it doesn't compare to a championship battle, but hopes it encourages Gloria to work toward another battle in the future. Naturally, Gloria is incredibly excited and grateful. After all, getting an autograph from Champion Leon was something she also wanted since day one. She thanks him and vows that she'll challenge and defeat him the next time around. But Clara butts in and says that would only be able to happen if Leon wins in the championship battle, and she has her bets on Ash. Gloria, Avery, Marnie, and even Bede agree with her, but Hop still has faith in his brother. Leon laughs and says that thankfully they'll be able to have their championship battle soon, but for now, he offers to take them all out to dinner to celebrate, which they all agree to. Rose, meanwhile, is at Rose Tower with Oleana. He is lamenting over the energy crisis and Leon's refusal to listen to him. Oleana tells him to just relax and recommends he speak to Leon tomorrow before he is caught up by the league championship battle. But Rose yells furiously at Oleana. He's sick of the champion ignoring him. He's begged him over and over to listen, and just now he brushed him off again to go to dinner. He's begged Professor Magnolia, but she always shuts him down, saying she needs to do more research on Dynamax. He's begged the gym leaders, but not one has taken the time to listen to him, even though they should be the ones most affected. He's tired of his concerns being pushed to the side. If he wants to save the region, he's going to have to do it on his own, and he needs to begin now. Oleana is shocked by the outburst from her boss. She asks him to reconsider. After all, they probably could use some more time to study Eternatus before executing their plans. But Rose says that the time to reconsider is over. If they don't act now, Galar's energy crisis will destroy the region, and most importantly, his gym challenge. He refuses to allow Galar to lose their cultural identity when it is so easily preventable. Forget the leaders, Magnolia, and Leon. He will be the one to save the gym challenge and the region. He will be the hero of Galar.